Welcome to Truck You. My name is Sebastian.
How's it, guys?
How's it going?
Pretty good.
So, today we're going to talk about preventing high-cost repairs.
Yes.
We decided to do a podcast around this because we feel like there are things that we lately have been servicing for customers that could have been avoided. And I think a good topic to overall kind of refresh and just give some insight on what to kind of look out for.
Yeah.
To like, hey, when you're visiting the shop, make sure you guys check this for me.
Definitely.
The grease fittings. Did you see a lot of guys are like,
yeah.
Hey, we should shoot that video around the grease
Yeah,
fittings.
with all the grease fittings on a Volvo?
Yeah, Volvo, any truck.
Any truck, yeah. Well, we'll do a couple trucks.
Yeah. So I did tell you, and I want to tell you when we're recording live on the podcast. I think I found a project truck for us.
Okay.
That's going to be my personal truck for the operation. So the reason behind that is I would want to have something that we can customize, work on, have shoulder runs because we have customers that bring trailers for repair, and I would want we actually have two coming in today, so I have to go pick them up.
Okay.
We need sort of a local truck kind of helping out.
To shuttle around trailers.
I want it to be plus any local runs that we have. Could be, helping out. So I found one. I'm going to show you a picture. I haven't. I didn't show it to you yet. So,
nice. It's International 4300.
Yeah. So that's an 84
with the big cam, or
yeah,
with
right. The big cam. Yeah. So I'm talking to the guy right now. And if I make a deal, I might go down, take our semi truck.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you if you want to go with me.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's 4 hours away. It's not that far.
Okay.
So we would do a road trip, pick it up with our tow truck, and just come back here and.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah. So the price is right. I think he's got a lot of interest, but I think I'm just gonna pull the trigger on it and then.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have some ideas. We'll reveal on the channel. We're going to shoot obviously a lot around,
working on it, bringing it in,
and,
conditions. Well, we should do a shoot while we go out there, while we check it out, see what it looks like.
We should take our N14 Volvo down there.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, let's begin. What else? Is there anything else you want to, before we start, around the shop that happened lately?
We've been having, two guys with the DEF failures?
DEF failures, yeah. A lot of SCR. What was the last one that we I don't think we talked about it.
Well, they were both D13s. The DEF line from the DEF pump going to the DEF dosing valve.
That was leaky or frozen or what?
No,
Plugged up, I mean?
On one of them we had a broken wire going to that heating element on that line, so that was throwing a fault. Repaired the wiring, put a new line on there. Well, that guy was towed in from quite a bit, pretty far away, right?
Yeah.
And then we had another guy with the same issue as well, but he had a clogged up dosing valve.
Okay. That one. What else? We are. Yeah, I think those are. Trying to think.
We have another guy coming. Today we had to do some DPF and DLC filter cleaning. So
we do have lined up for. It's Friday. We do have lined up a lot today, and we just had two customers before we started podcasting drop off their trucks. So, and then this one, I think Cascadia that we had when we were setting the smart idle.
Oh, the optimized idle on this. What is it? 2016, I believe.
Yeah. So that was fun. That was just parameters. Okay, let's talk about our topic today. How to prevent high cost repairs. What do you got there? What do we?
Let's start off with oil changes.
Number one, yeah.
Yeah. changing your oil within what 15,000 mile to 25,000.
Depending on the application, yeah, everybody has different ways to go about it, but that's one thing. That the second is, mineral versus synthetic.
Synthetic,
right?
Obviously, the synthetic has less friction, so manufacturers are using cars are using the synthetic, less friction, better fuel economy, and you're gonna have the same results on a semi.
Same, yeah. Especially new engines. Highly recommended. Older ones as well. If you have a healthy engine, I don't think.
If you have
a healthy engine,
yeah. If it's a higher mileage, I wouldn't really go with synthetic.
Yeah. If you put Lucas oil and don't don't swap to synthetic. But why?
Well, obviously the seals are worn out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be. It's older seals. You have a thinner oil. And it's good. There's more possibilities of it leaking, and there's possibilities of oil consumption.
Yeah,
on a higher mileage,
a higher leak, more leaks, and just overall. Okay, what else you got there? Is there any visual things that, as let's say somebody's changing an oil on a truck, like you can grab a sample on your finger and what are you looking for?
What you could do is check the oil level, rub the oil through your fingers, and if you feel it like a honey-like viscosity, well, obviously the oil's still good. But if it's not tacky anymore, oil's not good anymore.
And then the color. Whitish, like a lighter color.
Yeah. Well, obviously a diesel engine's always going to get more soot on it, so it's always going to be on the darker side.
Yeah, but so if you see a lighter oil, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's on the better side.
Yeah, but I mean,
as far as
let's say water in oil.
Oh. If you got water and oil, then you're going to be water and oil. You have coolant and oil. You're going to have milky. It's going to be white.
Yeah.
Then there's also fuel and oil.
Yeah.
Bad injector O-ring.
And it thins it.
And it's going to thin it out. And obviously, what you will notice on that is oil level is going to start rising up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually you see, and it's the same thing with obviously water and coolant going in.
Yeah.
You're going to see.
It's more visual on the fuel. It's gonna be more drastic. The level's gonna be going up higher, a lot faster than on the coolant. Yeah.
Plus, also you can also
smell the fuel.
Yeah. Perfect.
And if it gets to a certain point, there is times that the fuel will start coming out of the blow by or the dipstick.
Yeah.
You got so much oil in there in the crankcase that it's not good.
Yeah. So true. Okay. What's next?
Let's look at when you get your oil changed, metal and shaving.
Metal shaving. True. Yes, I totally forgot. We talked about it before, and we forgot about it. Yeah, but
keep an eye out.
See if you see on your
even on the
hand.
dipstick, you might be able.
You'll be able to pick
something
it up. Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, you'll pick that up on before you start up the engine.
What I would want to talk about is how. For me, it was helpful with sending it to a lab.
Yeah, you're going to get it's going to sheet of paper. It's going to tell you the results, what percentage of metal, if any, percentage of... It will pick up copper, fuel, coolant.
Yeah, so you get a whole graph of metals and everything that kind of shows up, coolant, glycol, anything that you might have in your oil, it's going to show up on the graph. That helps to understand
what's going on
with the engine, so that can prevent costly repairs for sure.
Costly repairs, or overhauls. Start planning on buying a new truck if you don't want to if you don't plan on overhauling the engine.
Yeah, and so remember how we talked about when you can do a bypass filters that filter your. I told you that if the engine's healthy, you don't have to change the oil.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just filter the crap out of it.
And filter out the soot.
Yeah. So there are systems on the market that you put in, and you literally can just. What I would do is send it to a lab, pull a sample, send it to a lab, and then just swap the filters and just keep running the same oil, which lowers your cost of maintenance. But you have to know your engine to do that.
And make sure you keep sending those results at the same mileage, so you're more or less getting an idea when the ideal time to change the oil is.
Yeah, well, and doing it regularly.
Yeah,
because it doesn't take long. It took from sending the sample. I think it's about 30, probably a little less right now. It was $30. I sent it back. I got it within like 4 days.
Yeah,
I think.
4 business days roughly.
Yeah, and then you know exactly what's happening with that engine.
Yeah.
And then you can decide. Oh, okay, I got to dump it. Put new oil. Now you see what the issue is with the engine. So definitely lowers your cost. They're roughly, I think, back in the day, I remember around like north of $1,000. I don't know if the price has changed because I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, they're within that price range if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so then you're getting it back within a year. I think it pays for
Yeah.
itself. So definitely something that worth looking into. Right, next thing. What do we got there?
Well, I believe we have the U-joints and yokes.
There's just
what else?
driveline.
Drive,
right,
yeah.
Right. So let's stick to that for a second. What are the possible things we're looking for? First, if you're visually looking or getting out of the truck, what is something that you can catch pretty quickly?
Something that I would say you can catch right away would be like a bad center bearing.
Yeah.
When you're hooking up, when you're in the back of the truck hooking up your glad hands, if you take a visual inspection of the drive shaft and you see a bad center bearing, what you will notice is metal shavings or the center bearing itself, the rubber will be worn out. If you let it get to that point, it's just going to be the drive shaft hanging on the metal carrier.
Yeah, and you're risking that then a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had that happen before where it just tears up.
Sometimes the bearings
everything.
just seize up and
Yeah. You're gonna how
vibration.
Okay. Yeah. So I was
So
gonna.
that's
I was gonna ask you about this. That's a
Yeah.
driver's perspective. Yeah, it's a vibration, banging kind of feel. That might come from different things going wrong. Let's say a leveling valve, but you want to definitely look at the back
exactly.
portion of the truck and start kind of digging.
Well,
U joints.
More or less, the driver has to let you know where they feel the vibration at.
Yeah.
It could be something on the steering,
Yeah, sure.
steer axle. So
Yeah. Or even, which we'll get to. I think you did it as a last point.
shocks.
Yeah, but so
Shocks, well, you're going to be all over the place.
yeah, but that visually there are some cues around shocks that we can talk. But let's stick to the driveline for a second. What is the possible damage and cost if you neglect and not catch it quickly enough that you have
Bad U joint. Yeah, if you have a bad U joint and you keep riding like that, you're running that risk of wearing out the yoke on both the. Either it could be the power divider or differential, or on the drive shaft itself. You're gonna wear out the yokes. Then it's gonna cost you sending it out to the machine shop, cut the yoke, weld a new one on there, and the U joint. When it could just be a, let's say, $200 U joint, you're gonna look at the driveline repair for $600, $700.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah, and what is it doing to the power divider and diff?
Well, obviously you have more play on the drive shaft, so you're gonna be wearing out your bearings on the power divider input. And also on the trans output.
Yeah.
Center bearing also, that's also going to have some, it's going to affect it as well.
We just picked it up on one of our trucks. That Tom is working on?
Oh, the power divider, no?
Yeah.
I believe.
In and out. We caught it. It was, so, he went through the whole truck and found a couple of things that we...
Yeah,
me too.
Input and output seals were leaking.
Yeah. Perfect. Anything else around that we want to mention? I would say when you're fixing a drive shaft, make sure it's balanced.
Well, yeah, make sure it's balanced, and also for the techs out there, I mean, it should be a no-brainer. But like if you're replacing a center bearing, that's when it's that's where they make the mistake often. When you don't match the yokes on the drive shaft, if it's off by a couple splines, then you will have some vibration. I've seen it before. Guys had their center bearings replaced, and all of a sudden I'm having vibration. Just take the yoke out, set it up, vibration's done.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's why we're doing this. Is like for us, a lot of that stuff is and should be common sense, but that's wouldn't sometimes you forget oftentimes, and
possibly
it's like how it's worth talking about it, no matter how much. It's like it's like you're gonna hear something 10 times and you might
Yeah.
forget it, and then you're like finally like, okay, cool. Not like now you know.
Finally
I know
clicked
how
in.
long it takes me to learn things, and I
Yeah.
listen to audiobooks and things all the time. So I re-listen things a lot, right? So
Yeah.
for us, and I
It might be common sense.
yeah, I've been getting feedback from a lot of guys like, like, hey, and especially some guys that start, we think we're talking about something that's common sense for us and obvious, but it's not for everybody, and I'm not even expecting it to be. This is the purpose of this, right?
Yeah.
Just like just talk. Let's
Well,
talk
there's
about
viewers
this
in
whole
all
thing.
different levels of experience
Yeah.
and knowledge.
Yeah. So perfect. That's I think we covered.
Oh, we spring bushings.
Okay.
Catcher.
Yeah.
If you're spring bushing, what's something, a way to identify a bad spring bushing is one of the first signs you will do a sharp right or left turn,
Mhm.
and you will hear a loud pop on the
Yeah.
steer axle.
Yeah.
That's as far as on the steer axle, and you want to get that addressed as soon as possible before you wear out the spring itself or the
Mhm.
hanger.
Yeah.
This way, if you catch it on time, you can replace the spring bushing. If not, you're gonna have to replace the whole spring.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about the rear springs?
Same goes with them. You will start seeing some axle, some tire wear, because the axle is going to be a little bit shifted.
So you will also see that in front,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
that could also be caused by shocks, bad shocks, which
Yeah.
we've mentioned, leaky shocks. Just in general, if you see the shock or have it for a long time, I would say just swap it out.
Swap
It's
it out.
Such an cheap.
Yeah, $70 roughly.
Yeah.
But yeah, same goes with the back springs. If you see the bushing starting to wear out, replace it before it eats up the spring.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the back part of what else could we bring up that is affecting your tire wear, unusual tire wear, and
On the drive axles, it could be
On the
also
drive
wheel
axles.
bearings, or that can be on the steer axle too.
Yeah.
Your wheel bearings are loose, or they're going out.
yeah. Okay. Well, maybe something else comes to mind. I know I had something. I didn't write it down. But what's our next point? What do we have next there?
Well, I wrote down fuel and coolant.
Yeah.
Fuel and coolant could be related to injector cups, or you get oil in the coolant, which could be oil cooler, engine oil cooler. It could be sometimes a trans oil cooler.
Yeah.
It all depends on obviously the oil that's in the coolant.
Yeah.
You can more or less tell.
Yeah.
You want to get that addressed before. If you have oil in the coolant, then your coolant hoses are going to start swelling up. You're going to start seeing some oil residue on the coolant hoses. Same goes with the fuel. It's going to start swelling up the coolant hoses. Then you're going to have a blowout of coolant hose, possibly overheat the engine, and it's going to be costly.
Yeah.
costly
And the
for-
fuel delivery itself is going to be restricted too.
Yeah.
Because of that. So. Yeah. That's definitely a good one. Fuel and coolant.
We also have the cab shocks.
Cab shocks that could be costly too. If you, especially it's such a simple like part as the cab shocks and the airbags or the front mounts.
Yeah, cab mounts.
Yeah, that's what are you looking for here?
Well, mostly you will see it on the rear side of the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Airbag shifted to either side,
Yeah,
or leaky shocks. Get that addressed as soon as possible.
yeah. If they'll just look rusty, just swap them out.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if they look rusty, I'm pretty sure they leaked out all the oil. And
You never, I mean, it depends where you live. Sometimes even, up north,
yeah.
newer shocks are rusty too. Yeah, what is that? That also we've had. I remember it. You just feel the whole truck is just.
Oh, you
just-
hit any bump, you're gonna feel a loud bang in the cab, and that can easily confuse with bad drive shocks
Mhm. Yeah,
or any other issue.
yeah. How many times I've remembered trying to address suspension, and it was
It was
the
just
cab.
cab shocks.
It was the cab.
Yeah.
It was like a lesson learned.
Remember, we had that on one of the trucks you recently bought.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's fun sometimes to. It's always fun to like, do diagnostics and try to problem solve. But some of them are such simple things that it's
that
just
are,
like,
I guess you can say, overlooked or
yeah, because we're overthinking a lot
Yeah,
of times. Like, okay,
yeah.
this is this is the problem we're trying to address, and usually this is within my knowledge. That's what it is. But then it's something super simple.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of that? I have one. The check valve that we did on the D12.
all D12. Yeah.
Remember that? I shot a video on it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think we're gonna post it because I messed up the video. But do you want to talk about really what we did over there?
Yeah, that was
Remember?
what was the guy?
red.
Oh, okay.
The red D12. We did a video
With the
on
older D12,
yes,
pre-GR.
Yes, pre-GR D12. The check valve was messing up there's multiple things of.
Well, there's a troubleshooting process.
Yeah.
Well, he did on the D12s. It's common for the fuel filter housing to the primer pump to suck up air.
Yeah.
And it wasn't priming at all. And we saw some fuel leakage from the primer pump, and it was original. It was green.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and the
it's
truck,
high
the truck was
mileage truck,
it was, I believe, was it pre-GR? So it was obviously like a 02.
It was 02 and it was almost $1 million, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's around 900,000. Great truck, such a clean
Yeah,
D12. The inside and just in general, not even that rusty, which is crazy.
And yeah, so fuel filter housing was swapped on it. Tried to start it up, wasn't going. Priming it. We were bleeding out the air, and finally I'm like, all right, let's take this check valve out. Took it out, dude,
Yeah.
in pieces.
Yeah. I'll put that video. Maybe the audio is not that good, so maybe I'll put it in the podcast so people can see it on YouTube. But yeah, I think that's good. I think overall, what we always preach is to learn as much as you can around the trucks. And that's the purpose of the podcast, to help out and for drivers to understand that ultimately when you're buying a truck, it is your responsibility, and the more you know, the better.
Exactly.
Perfect. Let us know if you have any ideas or questions, comments around this episode, or if you have questions of what would you like,
or any ideas
of topics that we could talk about.
Topics or videos that they want to see something being done.
We have one going live today. That's buying a truck right
Okay.
now. So that's already as well. If this goes live, that's already going to be posted on YouTube and all the podcast platforms. So, guys, thank you very much for listening and watching. Drive safe. Be careful. Let us know. Give us some feedback. And drive safe. Talk to you soon. Before I let you go, I just wanted you to visit our Instagram page. It's at truck.yoo on Instagram, and give us some feedback. Tell us what would you like to hear about, and any ideas, any recommendations, comments are greatly appreciated. This episode was brought to you by Era Transport and Era Service out of Chicago. Guys, thank you very much. Share, subscribe, and drive safe. We'll talk to you soon.